The Brain That Wouldn't Die in 3D. The Brain That Wouldn't Die in 3D. This is a 1962 release. It was actually filmed in 1959. We're going to talk about that in a minute. 1962 release. This is a 1 hour and 22 minute film. 1.66 to 1 aspect ratio. Sound is DTS Master Audio 2.0. This is currently 4.5 stars out of 10 on Internet Movie Database and 30% Rotten Tomatoes approval score. Roughly, this is directed by Joseph Green. Stars Jason Evers as Dr. Bill. I'm going to call him the evil Dr. Bill, or mad scientist, if you want to call him. Virginia Leith as Jan, if that's how you pronounce it. Virginia Leith as Jan, or Jan in the Pan back here. Anthony LaPena as Kurt. He's an assistant in the laboratory. I got vested in his character. He's got some things going on with him, and the doctor's been working with him, and I think he acts with the most passion, actually. You've got Adele Lamont as Doris, the figure model, the lovely figure model. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Bonnie Sherry as blonde dancer or stripper. It's really not a stripper, they're blonde dancers. We'll talk about that. Paula Morris as the brunette dancer or stripper. And Marilyn Harold as Peggy Howard. She's the beauty contestant model that you're going to see in here. So what do you got here? You got this guy, this doctor. Well, you know what? Let me tell you. Let me tell you about Plan D first. Plan D, what Plan D is they are, Plan D from Another Dimensions is a budget-friendly offshoot of iPop 3D. Focused on creating great 3D conversions at great prices. Plan D uses iPop 3D's tried and true methods and technology to create 3D conversions of unique, unusual, or challenging conversions, content for a niche market, and you can find them on www.ipop-3d.com/Plan D. So check that out, folks. They're really going out of their way to bring us some classics. They really are. But let's get back to the movie now. So what do you got here? You got this doctor who he wants to experiment in science. He's got this operation going on the table, and look, there's gonna be some spoilers here. 1962 film. He's got this operation going on. He does some out of the way theory and things like that to bring this guy that died on the operating table. He's going to bring him back to life, and he likes to experiment. And it's probably one of the most boring 8-minute operations, though. I got to tell you that first opening scene is, you don't see much at all. It was kind of boring, but let me tell you what. Overall, I enjoyed this movie. I really did. And we're going to talk about the 3D in a minute. But I really did overall enjoy this movie. I got to tell you that. I'll probably watch it again. I probably will. It's a peachy, campy type movie. It's actually a 1950s men's magazine kind of brought to life with all the ladies that they put in here. It's incredible. In fact, the dialogue, I don't even know how to approach the dialogue. I mean, I just can't get over the dialogue. I'm not even gonna repeat it. But I got to tell you this. Jan, I'll take this back. Jan throws herself, at the doctor, just literally. Every time you touch me, I just go crazy. And you'll see here one of these titles that they say about it in the trailer, the way these women talk. And she's like, every time you touch me, I go crazy. And he's like, okay, fine, let's go up to my cabin in the woods. They get in an accident. The only thing he can do is save her head. He brings his girlfriend's head back to the lab, and now he's trying to keep her alive. So now he can go out and get her a body. And he doesn't want anybody. Not anybody. He wants the perfect, voluptuous female body. So he's out creeping. He's creeping. He's driving down the road, creeping on women, walking down the sidewalk, going to beauty shows, going to men's nightclubs. Looking for strippers, I guess, but they're not really strippers, they're dancers. But I got to say one thing about this one scene in here. When he finally hits the road and he goes out looking for a woman's body, And he walks into that dance club, that men's club. It's like a whole different movie. Suddenly, this jazz is playing, this harmonica, this clarinet, this gnaw feeling comes over you. This woman gently, seductively dancing on a dance floor, people in the background in this black and white nightclub smoking a cigarette, talking and watching, and it's like you go back to it'd be 1959 because it was actually filmed in 1959. You go back to that era, and just the dress and the mannerisms and the guys and the gals and everything. It's kind of really cool, really is. And that 8-minute scene in that nightclub is worth the price right there. And then she goes back to her dressing room, and he goes back there, and these women are just throwing themselves all over him. Did you like my show? And he said, yeah, I really liked your show. She goes, is that all you liked? You want more? You got time? And then the brunette comes in, and they're fighting over this guy, and he just to be a patron at Wagner, they're fighting to be with him, I guess. And then they get in an actual physical fight, and the camera pans to a scene on the wall, a couple of cats, and it's a cat fight, And then he moves on. He goes to the beauty pageant, and then he goes to this model. They call it a figure model. They call her a figure model, and photographers pay to come and take pictures of her figure. And he's creeping in the background. You can see him creeping in. All the photographers leave, and she's got something wrong with her that he says he can fix if she'll just come on up to his cabin in the woods. And so he's got his mind on the body now. He's got the head back there, Jan in the pan, or somebody would say the head that wouldn't shut up, because she does talk a lot, I will say that. Jan in the pan. And then there's something going on in the closet. And I'm not even going to tell you about what's going on in the closet, but there is something going on in the closet. And it's no Cookie Monster, I'll tell you that. But I was kind of shocked at the end, and I was really, really appreciated the end, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the whole movie. And I'm not going to tell you what happens. You're going to have to see it for yourself. Let's talk about the 3D. This is way too long. 3D, Plan D. What did they do? Philip Williams over at, and you'll see his credit come up at the end. He's the one that's responsible for this over there at Plan D. I want to tell you something. This 3D is just as good as the iPop version. What they've done here with this Plan D is they more or less automated it. And I got to tell you, the first half of this movie, I was saying I was going to have to tell the guys over there that this is actually better. I don't want to hurt any feelings or anything, but this is actually, I thought it was better than all the hundreds and hundreds of hours. I mean, whatever they're doing here, and Philip Williams was involved in this, and he got it this way, and credit to him, because this is absolutely incredible. And then bam, I got hit with one slight thing and they always have trouble with the hair. It's always the hair. And then I says, okay, it's on par with iPop. It's just as good. Plenty of depth. The depth mapping is incredible. One thing I found out about in the beginning of this, there's a Plan D marquee that pops up, and there's a circular, like a cloud, and these points of smoke coming at you in 3D. And that's when I found out, after all these years, I thought you had the best seat was in the middle of the room, right under the projector. But as I went over to the right, those points they follow me wherever I go, all over the room. So I am actually looking straight on at the 3D, no matter where I go in the room. To the left, to the right, to the back. I thought that was really cool. I never knew that. I always thought the best seats right under the projector. It's not true. Try it yourself. Pick this up. Now, they have not put this out yet. I think I'm one of the first ones to get my hands on it, maybe one of the first ones to even see it. But it will be coming out soon. So I want you to go to their website, check it out, and leave some comments below. Let me know, did you see this in 1962? No, I might have seen it when I was 10 years old on some late night television show, but I don't remember it. And tell me what some other movies like this that you think that are like this. I think there was a remake of this in 2010, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So what am I going to do with this? All right, I'm going to give The Brain That Wouldn't Die, because I did enjoy the movie. I really did. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. The 3D gets 5 out of 5 stars. iPop, Plan D, they can't mess it up. It's just amazing at what they're doing. I can't wait to see some more. And stay tuned, because they sent me some more movies. I'm going to be doing some more. I got this one here, The Devil's Hand. And we're going to be doing Frankenstein's Daughter in 3D. And I got a couple other things from them that I'm going to be reviewing. And we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I don't want this to be too long. I want you to hit that like and subscribe button. I want you to have a good night. And as always, God bless. Take care.